Here are some of the weirdest NFL facts that honestly just confuse the shit out of me. The Seattle Seahawks are the only NFL team to both the NFC and AFC championship. Dan Marino played 242 games in his 17-year NFL career and only had 87 career rushing yards. On the flip side of that, Ryan Fitzpatrick led the 2019 Dolphins in rushing yards that season with 243. Don Hudson once scored 4 touchdowns and kicked 5 extra points to make up 29 points scored in a single quarter. 5-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Wes Welker kicked an extra point and a field goal before ever recording a catch in the NFL. Barry Sanders has the most negative rushing yards in history. 4-time in rushing yards. That's why he is the 5 rushes for 1 yard and 3 touchdowns. They still don't have a 4,000 yard passer. In 2002, despite having 422 yards of offense to Houston's 47, the Steelers still lost 24-6. In 1998, Falcons defensive back Eugene Robinson was given the well. Did you also know the longest punt in Eagles history is by quarterback and Story?
What's up? 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 It's Monday Night Madness. Y'all know what it is, man. Andre the Torch Robinson, the fire starter, in the building with my guy from the brother down south. I said he was from up north. He is originally from up north, but he resides down south. You know my guy Russell K in the building. Music Dreams USA Radio in the building with your boy. We got a whole lot of sports talk to get through tonight. We're going to go on a little journey, too. We'll talk NBA Finals. We're going to talk some NFL. Last week, if you were paying attention, if anybody watched, anybody tuned in, we talked about the AFC East. I'm going to let Russell K give a little spiel about the AFC East because he wasn't there for last week's show. But nevertheless, we'll talk that. We'll talk NBA Finals. We'll talk WNBA. We're going to go on a trip down memory lane with Scroll Patrol tonight. We're going to do a little Scroll Patrolling tonight during the show. It should be a great one. Make sure you tune in. Yes, I see you, Dalton, Dewan. I see you guys. I see Melanie. What's up? Shout out to all of you guys that's tuning in right now. I'm just liking and sharing the show, of course, obviously, as usual. But we got a great sports show for you. So, Russell K, I'm gonna let you get down to business. Tell everybody what's up, and then go ahead and start off your AFC East spiel that you told me earlier.
All right, so it's great to be back, and I'll be back in the big 716 pretty soon, Torch. We're wrapping up some things up here in the South, and we just actually a few weeks ago we actually are now an official certified iHeartRadio station. So I've been spending a lot of time doing that, and it's always fun to hang out with my buddy. Thank you for hanging out with us, and so the AFC East, right? So earlier this week, I actually posted a post on our page, right? And it talked about Joey Bosa, right? The often injured Joey Bosa, right? And so, some of the Buffalo Bills fans kind of got a little ruffled under the feathers, if you will. I told them, hey, the guy's often injured. He's often injured. And guess what? He's friggin' injured again. And now there's reports that he will not be ready for until training camp. So then my next question will be, if he's ready for training camp, all right, how long will it take before he gets re-injured again? So a lot of the Buffalo fans got kind of like crazy with me, right? Saying, oh, why don't you start speaking some factual stuff, He's saying to us here on Rise Up Family Network Sports, we don't talk or cover anything factual. We just talk, pretty much just talk, right? And I'm like, look at the freaking facts, right? So, Torch, I need you to get involved. I need you to light the torch and light a torch under these Buffalo Bills fans who are freaking blind as a bat. I mean, and I even put this in our post, right? This has to be one of the worst free agent signings in the NFL this year. Buffalo signing Joey Bosa. I mean, the often injured Joey Bosa. Why in the world would you want to go out and sign this guy when, look at the draft. Look at all the people they signed on the D-line, right? In free agency and also drafting. Buffalo drafted a lot of people. And was it because they already knew that Joey Bosa wasn't going to give them a full season? So, I've never been high on that guy. I think it was a bad move. And so that's what we talked about. As far as the other AFCs, this is something you may or may not know. Our buddy, Stefon Diggs, got busted on a boat video. And so the New England Patriots are not very happy. There are reports that the New England Patriots are considering cutting ties with Stefon Diggs. And there's also other reports that, they're not happy about seeing that video on the boat. However, there's no plans of cutting Stefon Diggs, or shall we say Stefon Drama King Diggs. The Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill. Is he going to last in Miami? Obviously he's not happy there. He wants to. And a reporter earlier this week asked him about, what about the Buffalo Bills, getting traded to the Buffalo Bills? Well, Tyreek kind of went off on that reporter and dropped the F-bomb after every word about the Buffalo Bills, about the fans, the team, and that he would never, ever play for the Buffalo Bills. So, you got the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, so those guys are in the news this week. And so we'll see what happens with Stefon Diggs. I just actually, before we went live on air, I want to see if there's any updates on that, but there's not. So basically, obviously the Patriots are aware of the boat scandal that went on with Stephon Diggs, and they're still contemplating if they're going to cut ties with him or keep him. So we'll see how that works out. Now, as far as the AFC overall, what I think is going to happen this year, I think even though Buffalo made some boneheaded moves, they still have more talent than any other teams. Oh, I forgot about the Jets. So nothing really going on with the Jets right now. I mean, we haven't heard anything crazy. So the Jets are the Jets. Well, let's just say that. So overall, what do I think about the AFC East this year? Buffalo still has the most talent. As long as you have Josh Allen as your quarterback, you have a chance. And I'm looking for Buffalo to repeat as the AFC East champions in the AFC East. But again, my question is, the knowledge is every year. All right, Buffalo, you win the AFC East, but it's like one and done for you. You win the AFC East, and the top teams. You're 0-2 in championship games against the Kansas City Chiefs. You're 0-3 against the Chiefs in playoff games. So realistically, you're 0-5 against the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs, a team you've got to beat to get to the big dance. This is year number 9 now for Buffalo, still trying to figure out how to get past the top teams in the AFC East. I know we got. Hey, that's got to be buddies on the Buffalo Bills post, Torch. I told him to come and join us on the show. So that's the latest and greatest for me on the AFC East. Now let's turn back over to Torch.
All right. So first and foremost, right off the jump, shout out to everybody that's tuned in again. I see Will Richter, everybody. I see you. As far as Joey Bosa is concerned, I kind of agree with Marcus Aaron. We haven't seen him play a down of football yet, and my call line is going off right now. I literally said, okay. I literally said 10:25. 10:25. It's 10:19. Call in 6 minutes. All right. Now, with that being said, I'm so sorry. With that being said, Joey Bosa hasn't played a down of football, so we don't know what he's going to do. Is he the most injury-prone person I've known in a long time? Yes, one of the most injury-prone players I've known in a long time. When you've only played 17 games in 3 seasons, you definitely raise cause for pause. All right, that's number one. When you've played 1 full season of games in 3 seasons, that's cause for pause. So I totally understand why Bills fans might be a little annoyed. Secondly, I do not address nor give a whole lot of attention to buffoonery. When people, I guess Bills fans, you posted something and somebody said something about, if you speak on Rise Up Family in sports, I'm going to tell you right now that Rise Up Family is one of the most decorated and most respected amongst media, especially when I have over 1,000+ groups who literally invite me to their groups. That's not for no reason. That's for good reason. Okay. We have very knowledgeable people here, very knowledgeable people who say a lot of smart, intelligent things. We are not WGRZ News Radio 55. So don't get that confused. With Rise Up. Secondly, number 2, let me speak very clearly when I say very clearly that you have to remember that some of these Bills fans were the same ones who didn't want Josh Allen as a quarterback. You have to also remember these are some of the same Bills fans who claim that Stephon Diggs would never get traded either.
Exactly.
So again, you have to consider sources, and I see my son over here just going in right now. Y'all see him right here, this little guy going in. But I feel like what he was just doing is exactly what Bills fans do sometimes. They just run around in circles looking for any excuse to have about anything. So I just kind of don't even pay that attention, to be very honest with you. Now, with that being said, last week I also stated that the Buffalo Bills, if we were doing a little quick review on the AFC East, I stated that the Bills will win the division again. New England may be second place. Speaking of Stephon Diggs and the whole pink cocaine situation that most people are calling cocaine, I don't know. There has been no reports after that, the boat situation, so there's nothing to go on. And don't make stories, okay? It's not good to make false stories on people. So let that be that, and let the people who know the story, let them figure out the story. I know that the New England Patriots definitely wanted to bring Stephon Diggs in as a leadership piece. Again, as I stated last week, I don't really remember when Stephon Diggs was a real leader. So I'll leave that up there. All fan bases have those kind of fans. Yeah, they do. All of them, every single one of them. That's why, Marcus, I don't really pay attention to them. Deborah Beatty, what up? Terrell, what up? I see you. I really ain't paying attention to what people got to say as far as that is concerned. I ain't gonna waste too much energy on that. But now let's get to some NFL stuff. Might as well get to some NFL first. We'll talk NBA finals shortly, but we'll get into this NFL stuff first. All right. Speaking of players, retirement coming up. Veteran corner Ronald Darby has called it quits. Ex-Buffalo Bills cornerback Ronald Darby has called it quits. He helped the Eagles win the Super Bowl. And he informed the Houston Texans that he will no longer be playing. So best of luck to him in his future endeavors. I thought Ronald Darby was one of those corners that we should have kept. Your thoughts on Ronald Darby as we go down the line?
Yeah, I mean, he was a great player, and he actually did some good things in Buffalo. And, obviously, he got what he wanted. He finally got that world championship under his belt. So, why not go on a high note? So, yeah, I definitely wish him all the best as well. And, he's a good player and well-deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, moving on from Ronald Darby to Diontae Johnson. This guy, I tell you, this guy is in the news more and more. Absent from OTAs. Your thoughts on Diontae Johnson, a guy who's been on now 4 teams? Put it in the comment section, y'all. How many teams has Diontae Johnson been on now?
I guess my question will be I guess my question would be on him is like, how can a guy like that, it doesn't commit to the team he's on now, doesn't attend the OTAs, doesn't want to be a part of the team he's on. He's been on, as you mentioned, several different teams, and he's still in the friggin' NFL. What does that tell you? I mean, how does that even happen where a guy, 4 different teams, doesn't show up for OTAs, and he's still playing? I don't get it, Torch. I mean, I don't get it. That guy should have been gone like the wind.
So he's actually played on 5 teams, and last year he played on 3 teams, by the way. He played on the Panthers, Ravens, and Texans last year. And he's now with the Cleveland Browns, and he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers before. So that's 5 teams this guy has been on in the last couple years.
So I guess my question, Torch, would be this then, Torch.
I
got a question for you. So of those 5 teams, how long did he play on those 5 teams for?
Your question. Repeat your question.
All right. So of the 5 teams he's played on, how long did he play for each team?
Well, the 3 teams he played on last year, he didn't even play a full season. So that answer is number 1.
Right.
I think Pittsburgh, he played on Pittsburgh for maybe a season or 2, if I'm not mistaken. And that's about it.
Now he's off to Cleveland. This signs anybody and everybody.
And that was that. Not really a lot of teams at all. All right, moving on to some something with more substance, even though we all know how we feel about this. The new Madden 26 cover has Saquon Barkley on it for 2026. Marcus, before I get into the 2026 Madden cover, Marcus Herring said 3 last year alone, if I'm not mistaken. Poor decision making. Yep. Talent is why he is continuing to get chances, all because of his talent. What's up, Blaze? I see you. Yeah, sure. I mean, you gotta want it. Get your shit together. That's all I got to say on Deontay Johnson. Now, to speak on Saquon Barkley, do you think this was a good move for Saquon Barkley? Madden 26. Of course, a lot of people will say yes. Is the Madden curse still relevant? Is that still real?
I don't know about that, but I am happy for Barkley. I mean, he wasn't happy with the Giants. He needed to change the scenery, and look what happens. He goes to Philly, and he wins the champion. He's a world champion, and that's probably something that would have never happened with the Giants. So I'm happy for him, that he made that move and got a fresh start in his career and wound up being a world champion. So I'm happy for him. As far as the Madden jinx, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Torch. I've never been a person that believes in that stuff. The picture is the picture. It's all decided on the football field. That's my take on that. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I think for one of the first times in a long time, and I know Saquon Barkley has had injuries in the past, but I will honestly say I'm really not worried about it. I think Philadelphia did a really good job last year managing him late in the season. Yep. Oh, Lord. This guy wants to wrestle. Anyway, he's done a really, really good job. Philadelphia did a really, really good job of managing Saquon Barkley at the end of the year when they thought he had that injury. So I have no real questions on Saquon Barkley, whether he would get injured or not again. I mean, outside of Josh Allen, he should have been the MVP last year. Yes, I said it. He should have been the MVP last year, outside of Josh Allen. Okay. That's just my take on it. So congratulations to him. I'm happy for him. All right. Speaking of Josh Allen, this isn't about Josh Allen, but this is about the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills right now facing some backlash. Uh-oh. Facing some backlash. The Buffalo Bills are facing backlash for sharing Pride Month links on their official team website, including a handbook for LGBTQ youth to help them come out. It says the website also links to the TSER, which provides tools to help children understand transgender identities and gender pronouns. Boy, oh boy. And when I say people find anything to be upset about, people find anything to be upset about. By the way, it is Pride Month. My other job just had a whole parade downtown for Pride Month. we at Rise Up Family in no way, shape, or form, exclude or discriminate against the LGBTQ community at all. At all. If that's what the Bills want to do, fine. That's their decision to do so. I don't have a lot of energy for that either. I'm not gonna be the Debbie Downer or the negative Nancy on that. Not at all. Your thoughts?
You know what the saying is, right, Torch? Judged and you will be judged. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very touchy subject, anyways, and that's it for me.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of the touchy subject, but I'm not afraid of the touchy subject, but I will say in a nutshell that, again, if that's what the organization wants to do, then that's their right to do so. It's not for us really to judge what they want to do. If that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. And they have the right to do so. Just that simple. All right, moving on. Moving on from that. Let me do this real quick, little boy. We have this. Oh boy. This got a lot of attention. Charles Goldman decided to post this, and I posted it in the group. I thought it was hilarious. That since 2022, George Karlaftis from the Chiefs has 35 sacks and 208 total pressures as the 30th overall pick. Number 2 overall pick, Lions defensive end Aiden Hutchinson has 33 sacks and 219 total pressures. Your thoughts on this, Russell K, before I chime in on it?
Kanopoulos with KC, I mean, he's a great player, definitely makes a lot of plays. I think he's one of the rocks to that defense for sure. As far as Aiden Hutchinson, he got hurt last year, so let's see how he does when he comes back from an injury. Is he gonna be the same Aiden Hutchinson, or is he gonna be different? So we'll see what happens on that. But I do like Kanopoulos. I think he's a great player, and Hutchinson, as I mentioned, come off that big injury. Can he recap and get back to the way he was playing? I mean, that guy was on fire. That guy was unstoppable until he got hurt. And so we'll see, kind of see what happens there. But that's kind of my take on that, Torch. What about you?
Marcus Harry said he found this post to be hilarious. I do as well. I find the post to be absolutely hysterical, especially when Aiden Hutchinson has played 10 less games than George Karlaftis, and he's nowhere near as talented as Aiden Hutchinson. George Karlaftis is one of those power rushers. He uses the bull rush a lot to get to where he needs to go. He's not Aiden Hutchinson in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. Secondly, he also has a defensive tackle who's one of the best in Chris Jones on the line. I don't think the Lions have one of those type of players on this team. So can you imagine what Aiden Hutchinson would do if Chris Jones was on this team? Like, could you imagine that? Now, he's missed 10 games, and there's going to be people who are going to say, well, availability is the best ability. So, I mean, I get that and all, but at the same token, to put these two in the same boat is rocking the boat. And Aaliyah isn't here anymore. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. But we don't rock boats, especially if you don't know how to rock it. All right? He's a pretty good player that benefits from Chris Jones from the Chiefs. Yes, that's what I was saying. You don't have a right to judge. You don't have a right to jam it down anyone's throat either. I think it's ridiculous for any type of group to get a whole month solely based on their sexuality, sexual preference, their sexual delusions. And their sexual lifestyle. That's all the LGBT communities. Deborah Beatty, I have no objection to that response. In fact, that 2 thumbs up for you. I'm not in disagreement with you. With that being said, yes, I am totally against this whole rocking the boat situation with these two. George Karlaftis plays for the Chiefs, and yes, he's won Super Bowls, but he's not better than Aiden Hutchinson. We not even. This is totally like an overreach. I mean, Charles, you should have been a boxer. You should have been a boxer with all that reach. Should have been a boxer. That's where I'm going. It's just, that's craziness to me. Well, Mr. Goldman, by the way. This is Goldman. All right. Insane. Every quarterback with 90 plus passing touchdowns and less than 30 interceptions since 2022. There's only one, Joe Burrow. The Bengals will be a problem this season.
I disagree.
This is where I get to laughing. This is where I get to laughing. This is where the hilarity comes out. Jeremy, what's up? All right, this is where I start to question some things. Okay. Dalton is right. Burrow has no defense. And that's right there problematic. The Bengals will be a problem this year. They will be a problem because most people will think that the Bengals are going to be a problem, and it's going to be problematic if you bet on them this year. If you bet on these Bengals to be a good team, a really, really good team, and you bet on them to make the playoffs, which I'm betting on them not to be, and it's not my problem if they don't make the playoffs again for the 3rd straight season, then so be it. I don't see it. Joe Burrow was a problem last year. He almost threw for 5,000 yards, had the most touchdowns, had the most yards, and the Bengals just missed the play.
Yeah, I agree with Dalton. I mean, the Bengals do not have a defense, not at all. You got a good quarterback in Burrow, right? But your defense doesn't show up at all. So it'd be interesting to see. But I would agree with you. I don't think that the Bengals are going to be in the playoffs this year either. I'm surprised that they haven't. Well, they still have time to maybe try to add some pieces of that defense to try and make it better than it is right now. You got free agency, you've got trade, you still can trade. So, I mean, plus teams cutting other players. So it'd be interesting to see what the Bengals final roster is going to be like. But as it stands right now, I would agree with Dalton. The Bengals defense is not very good, but you got a great quarterback in Burrow, but you don't have a good defense. Good luck with that.
The Bengals defense couldn't stop a cold in the summer.
Oh, you got the Ravens in there too. You playing the Ravens and as well. So yeah, good luck with that.
Listen, I'll be very, very honest. Again, this doesn't pan well for them.
Nope. Not at all.
Teams are getting give me all. Teams are getting better. First of all, I think the Bills will be fine. I think there will be 2 teams that make it from the AFC East this year. I think 2.
All right, you got Buffalo 1.
Right here, not even, it was right in the bag, sir. So I think two teams from the AFC East. Obviously, the AFC West will have two teams. I think two. They could have three if you're not careful. The North could have two. That's 7 already. Even though you still gotta have the South, and the South has to have a team representative. Unfortunately, unless we all know the new rule that just came into play, right? That you no longer get a home game if you win your division. If you got a 9-8 record, and there's teams better, you don't get a home game no more. That's not how they rolling anymore. I mean, the South still has to have a representative. So with that being said, I mean, there's like 8 teams that can make the playoffs. 8, 9 teams that can make the playoffs. I don't want that. You eat it. You eat it. You just grab the piece of pizza. You eat it. All right. There's 8 or 9 teams that can make the playoffs. And I just don't think the Bengals are going to be one of them.
All right, Torch, I got a question for you. So of those 8 to 9 teams that you're predicting for the AFC, are there any surprise teams that will make it in this year? If so, which ones do you think they are?
No, none.
None?
There's no surprise teams in the AFC. None. No. The AFC West will have 3. I think Kansas City, Denver, and the Chargers will all make the playoffs. I'm in agreement with Chris on that. I think 2 teams will make it from the North. Mike Tomlin has proven that he can have a winning season with anybody every year. The last 2 years, the Bengals have barely had 8, 9 wins. So you got to go against that. We have a surety in Mike Tomlin at least having a winning a record every year for 18 years. We've had an surety of that. So you got to go against that. So Pittsburgh, to me, may be the other team. Then you have the Bills, and you have Miami, or you have the Patriots, who could be better this year. And then
All right, so let me ask you this. For the AFC East,
you have Houston. No.
Buffalo and who else? New England or Miami?
I think it's going to be the Patriots. Honestly. I think the Patriots have enough defense. I think Miami is 1 injury away from being 5-12.
You know, our friend Jay Renaud's not going to be happy hearing you say that. You know that, right?
If Jay Renaud is a real Miami Dolphins fan, he understands why I say that.
Yeah, I can see Buffalo and New England being the 2 teams in the AFC East. I can see that. New England had a great draft. Look who they signed.
I'll put it out there like this: if you lose Jayden Waddle or you lose Tyreek Hill, I don't give a damn if Tua's your quarterback. That's a major loss. Either one of those wide receivers, losing those receivers is a major loss. If you lose Tua, that's a major loss. That's a major loss. Again, one injury away from 5-12. I'm not sold on the Miami Dolphins. They have given me no reason to be sold on them at all.
Yeah, I would agree with you on
that too. Have made some moves that, I mean, with the defense that they usually tote, I think that they can move ahead. Let's not forget that the Jets now have a lot of parity. They have a lot of continuity now with Justin Fields going over there. A lot of Ohio State boys playing over there now on that offense.
The Jets are the Jets.
Yeah, but the Jets defense is usually pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. The Jets do have good defense, but it's all something with the offense, though. I mean, every year their offense screws them up.
So do you believe that Justin Fields can't do enough with the Jets to get them to a place that puts them in a question?
I think that Justin Fields is definitely an upgrade for sure. Absolutely. But is he going to have enough to get the Jets over, to hop it into the playoffs? You know,
I don't know if he gets them.
You got Buffalo. You got New England. Miami, as we talked about, ain't doing nothing this year. So can the Jets get by New England and Buffalo? I would say no. So yeah, you got Justin Fields. He's a good quarterback, but I don't think the Jets gonna need a lot more than just him if they're gonna have any shot of trying to make the playoffs. Yes, they have a good defense, but offensively, well, it remain to be seen if they got enough to get to the playoffs. I personally don't think so.
Ron Thomas, you said the South might have something to say about it?
The South? Are you kidding me?
I think he thinks we were talking about the NFC South. I'm not talking about the NFC South. His Atlanta Falcons is in the South. Is in the NFC South. But no. Here. Okay. Here. I don't see them doing anything in the AFC South. I think you are already hearing conversations about Richardson again. And his confidence level. Jacksonville is just a dumpster fire, a disaster. And I don't believe in any of those teams. The fact that I don't even consider the fourth team at all in the AFC South speaks volumes. That should speak volumes, Steve. Jets defense will borderline as a loss. Falling is critical for the Jets. Yeah. Justin Fields should have stayed with the Steelers. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think the Jets have a good.
I get it. This guy. This is his daddy been working all week. He misses his pops. All right. More NFL talk. Eagles are trading Bryce Huff to the 49ers. It's hilarious.
I mean, I like that trade.
Your thoughts on this,
I like the trade. I don't think that the 49ers are giving up much to go get him. I mean, he's still got some gas in the tank, if you will. And so I do like that trade. You guys in the comments, why don't you go and put your comments in? Do you like the 49ers getting Bryce Hall? Do you like that trade? I do. As I mentioned, I don't think they're giving up a lot to get him. And, hey, right now, the 49ers, they need help on defense for sure. I mean, they need help out in that roster. It's not the same 49ers roster that was in the Super Bowl a few years back, right? So, I mean, for me, you have to, 49ers, that, if they could get trades like this to try to bolster that roster, if you will, and try to get back in to that dance, I like the move. What about you guys in the comments? What do you think? All right,
Philadelphia is paying $9.05 million of Bryce Huff's $17 million salary, which is fully guaranteed. The 49ers are also picking up $7.95 million. Value. What are you? Value lock. Value for a guy who had 10 sacks and ranked the top of pressure rate last time he played with Robert Saleh. Interesting. 2025 playoffs. AFC East, Bills, Patriots, North, Ravens, South, Texans, West, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers. Okay, that's a good way to look at it too. Oh, here's my question. Will Texas' new offensive coordinator do well with CJ Stroud? I mean, hopefully they do, because you got to remember, CJ Stroud was new to the offensive coordinator when he came to Houston, and he did good. So I wouldn't be surprised about him doing good with somebody new.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans were a big disappointment. I mean, that team has a lot of talent. And, last year, yeah, you make it to the playoffs, but then when you get to the playoffs, I mean, it's not the same Houston Texan team. I mean, talk about choking. It just seems like, the last few years when they were in the playoffs, that you get there, but you choke. You're not the same Houston team that got you there. So it'd be interesting to see if they make it again this year, which I think they will. Can they get over that hump and go a little bit further, in the AFC playoffs? I mean, that'd be something to be seen. But again, I still have my doubts about Houston. You got CJ Stroud, and you've got some great receivers on that team. Defense is not bad, but again, it just, I don't know. What do you think, Torch? I just don't think. I don't know. Question mark for me for Houston.
Houston should be the playoff winner by default. Can you name the 4 teams in the AFC South?
Sure, we can do that. The AFC South.
Go ahead and name them.
Indianapolis.
Without looking them up.
Actually, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
So the AFC South, you got Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Tennessee.
Who cares?
And
you got Jacksonville, Tennessee, Indianapolis, and damn Houston. Goodbye.
Houston.
Seriously. We're not having this conversation. We are not having this conversation.
Why not? Let's have it.
Because Tennessee is straight hot dog water.
Are there any good teams other than Houston in the AFC South?
The Jacksonville Jaguars is hot dumpster juice. The Indianapolis Colts might be the least favorite team in their own state right now, currently. The least favorite team in their entire state right now. No, and no.
What about the Music City Miracle Boys?
Nobody's worried about Tennessee. Nobody.
So that explains that. Actually, you know what, Torch? I just thought about something. Right, we're talking about the AFC South, right? And I was just telling you about. I'm not that high on Houston, and you kind of answered my question. Look at the division they play in. I wonder how Houston would do if they were in the AFC East, AFC West. I wonder how well they would fare. I don't think very good.
My God, they'd have.
I think Houston is they're so used to playing in such a weak division. I mean,
are you talking about Houston? I think Houston would still win games. It just they wouldn't win the division.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Take Houston and put them in a different division other than the AFC South. Let's see how well they fare. I don't think that. I mean, yeah, they're going to win some games. They won't be the same Houston Texans they are in the AFC South. If they were in a different division, they would not be.
Yeah, they're not winning the same amount of.
And they would struggle to get to the playoffs too. If you put them in a different division, they would struggle to get to the playoffs. No question about it.
Yeah.
But you better watch out for the NFC, though. I mean, NFC last year won the Super Bowl after AFC has won so many before that. So the NFC is getting really strong too now. So, you got to keep your eye on the NFC.
Yeah, the Texans are the best team in a bad division. Absolutely. You know what you're gonna get out of them. You'll get a first round win, and then with automatic precision, they'll be heading home, exiting the playoffs. That's exactly what you're getting from the Texans every year. All right?
I would agree with that. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I just said that.
Exactly what you're getting. All right. I don't know how many people watched the intro, but I'm gonna play this intro video for you guys. And I'm gonna let you hear this because I think it's kind of interesting. Actually, I didn't even know half this stuff.
And AFC Championship. Alan Hudson once scored 4 touchdowns and kicked 5-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Wes Welker kicked an extra point and a field goal before ever recording a catch in the NFL. Barry Sanders has the most negative rushing yards, 52, and still ranks 4th all-time in rushing yards, became the first and only active NFL player, grandpa. Also, let's not forget that Favre's first career completion was to himself. Jim Harbaugh has more career NFL rushing yards than Bo Jackson, who could for 98 Falcons defensive back Eugene Robinson was given the Bart Starr Award for a player who exemplifies outstanding character. History is by quarterback Randall Cunningham. Who am I kidding? Nothing is topping the you confused the shit out of me. The Seattle Seahawks are the only NFL team to play in both the NFC and AFC championship.
All right. Now y'all heard all the rest of them. Wow. All right. You guys heard all of those. To me, that was wild. You heard all those fun facts? You know the one that sticks out to me like a sore thumb? If I had to pick 2, there's 2 that stick out like a sore thumb. One, the fact that Barry Sanders had more negative yards than most people have positive yards for a single season. I mean, he had a single season damn near worth of negative yards, and he's still top 4 in running all time. It's crazy to me. 952 negative yards is nuts to me. That's wild. The second one is the fact of the 80-some yards rushing for his whole career. Dan Marino, 80-some yards rushing for his whole career. Wow. It wasn't much of a scrambler, huh? I guess.
Or you look at it like Dan Marino
was Dan Marino really? Was he? Oh Lord. No stuff. Right, yeah. I know. But you can still hear what he was saying. Anyway. I get it. But Monday. Rewatch. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Melissa, do your thing. Get your money. Get your money. Johnny. I don't blame you. All right. I will let. All right. Let's see now. Can I talk NBA Finals now? Thank you. I appreciate you.
Uh-huh.
All right, Russ.
What's up, buddy?
We got Indiana Pacers versus the OKC Thunder. We got the Indiana Pacers versus the OKC Thunder. The New York Knicks lost again. I thought you were going to let me talk. The New York Knicks lost for the second straight season to the Indiana Pacers.
I'm surprised. I mean, New York, the Knicks. I mean, I've been talking pretty high about them on all the shows I've been on. And I'm surprised, that they could not get past Indy. But I thought if they could, that would definitely be, I picked them to win it all. And unfortunately, they fell a bit short. So you got Indy and OKC, Oklahoma City. I think that's going to be a great series. But, my son is a huge Oklahoma City fan. So I'm gonna go with my son, and I'm going to pick Oklahoma City to win it this year over Indy. Mm-hmm. That's my pick, Torch. This way my son won't be blowing up my phone. What about you, Torch? Who do you think?
Well, I know a lot of people have already crowned OKC as the champs. But I have a stupid suspicion that the Indiana Pacers
is a Paul Phelps set.
I have a suspicion that the Indiana Pacers are winning the NBA final.
Really?
Yes.
You want to bet lunch on that one, Torch?
No problem. Get so, but
if I lose, I buy pizza for the whole studio. All right. If I lose, if you lose, you have to buy us pizza. One thing about the
Brock, what's good, my guy?
Places.
So here's one of the reasons why I think Indiana may win. I think they matched up very well against this guy in the pizza. I think they match up very well. Come here. Watch this. I think they match up very well for the simple fact that Miles Turner will make Chet have to guard. What I watched in the last series with OKC and Minnesota is that no, I'm not copying your comment though. Is that Rudy Gobert has to be one of the biggest overrated players in NBA that I've seen in a while. Defensively, he may be good, but he is overrated. I mean, overrated by a long shot. And people have a problem with, never mind. I'm going to talk about her later too. And people have a problem with Angel Reese. Lord have mercy. Rudy Gobert has to be the most overrated big man I've seen in the league. Legitimately. He did nothing the whole series. Nothing. Chet Holmgren did whatever he wanted the whole series. The entire series. I think Miles Turner gives you a different dynamic. You have to guard him, and he can play defense. He can defend pretty well. Tyrese Halliburton is a very shifty guard who can beat you in transition and can beat you in the half-court game if you're not careful. I think SGA did not have to deal with that last round because Anthony Edwards fell off the face of the planet 3 of those games. Indiana has a very deep team in which their 2, 3, and 4s you have to be careful and pay attention to. Siakam may be a problem this series. I will tell you that. So can OKC. Yeah, but this is a different animal. We're talking about Indiana, speedy, very good in transition, very good in the half-court game. They have a deep bench, a deep roster that can keep up.
Hey, Torch. You're forgetting one thing, though, Torch. The defense for Oklahoma City. Check out these stats. So, now the defense, the Thunder's defense, right? They have the top-ranked defense during the regular season. Yeah.
Yes, so, I know. Mm-hmm. And guess what? The New York Knicks had a top 5 defense this year too, and we all saw how that turned out.
So I guess my question would
had a top 5 defense, and we all saw how that turned out.
Right. However, though, Torch, can Indy figure out a way to get away from the swarming defense of Oklahoma City? They have that swarming attacking defense. And so it'll be interesting to see in this series if Indy has an answer and how they can avoid. I mean, if they start getting the turnovers and the steals and all that good stuff, it will be a long series for Indy. So if much to your point, right? If Indy wins the series, they have to solve that swarming defense of Oklahoma City. They got that swarming defense. So Indy's going to have to come up with an answer for that. If they can, it'd be an interesting series. If they can't, I'm picking Oklahoma City to win this series in 6 games. 4-2.
Okay, 6th. I'm sorry, 6th in defense. Wow. Again,
because I don't think Indy's going to have the answer for that defense. I mean, all year long, Oklahoma City has had the top-ranked defense in the NBA. The numbers are there. Proofs in the pudding. OKC has the best defense in the NBA. That's why they're in the finals. The only way that Indy's going to win this series if they can solve that defense. They can come up with an answer and keep the games close. If they can come up with the answer on the defense,
they have plenty of it. You guys are tripping. I think they have plenty of answers. Brock, you saying OKC in 5, and I doubt it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I doubt it.
I was gonna pick 5 too, but I give him 6.
Nah, I doubt it. Only because I'm telling you right now, Rick Carlisle is not. I'm sorry, Andre. I'm just telling you facts of what exactly. Okay, again, the New York Knicks is a very good defensive team. They were a very good defensive team. I mean, Thibodeau is a defensive guy. Was a defensive coach. We all know this. And the Knicks were a top 5 defense early in the season. If they weren't at the end of the season, that would be due to injuries. But regardless of the facts, Minnesota was a very good defensive team, and they did nothing. Rudy Gobert literally was. I could have swore he was Defensive Player of the Year, and he did nothing the whole series. So, I mean, again, defense doesn't always dictate everything, especially when you play a good offensive team. And the Pacers are a very good offensive team. Very good offensive team. They have a deep roster in which allows them to be very good offensively. I highly doubt that this is going to be one of those gentleman sweeps type of series. I think that's what people want to think, or they want you to think. But Indiana has shown me pretty much in a nutshell so far is that they can get out, transition. They play good enough defense to make you turn over the basketball. They play pretty damn well in the half court set. And besides Luke Dort, who should be a defensive year, I mean, he's a first team all defensive player and should have probably been defensive player of the year, if you ask me. You have to guard everybody on that team. Again, Rudy Gobert to me did nothing in the series. You want facts? Rudy Gobert did nothing in that guard at all. Guard anything or anybody the whole series. You have to guard Miles Turner because Miles Turner can beat you down low and he also can beat you on the perimeter. And Miles Turner can guard. So Chet Holmgren will probably not have the same series he's had the last two series. He won't have the same series. I'm telling you this right now. If you think so, you're crazy. All games will be within 3 possessions. Again, I can agree with that for the simple fact, again, because Indiana has shown in the playoffs that they're good. They're good enough defensively to get after it, and they're good on transition, and they're good in the half-court game. They've literally showed this all playoffs long. I don't think that trend ends with OKC. I think OKC finally meets somebody who can actually play all phases of the game. Look at their roster. Just look at the roster construction. Miles Turner, Siakam, Nembhard, Naismith, Tyler Halliburton. Now tell me who can't shoot, and who can't get after it offensively. All of them can. All of them. So Luke Dort is probably going to check Halliburton. So SGA has got to deal with one of those pesky guards or one of those pesky 2 or 3s. And this is where Williams would have to. Jalen Williams is going to have to lock down defensively.
Mm-hmm.
That's another that did not have to defend hard at all. Because who did Minnesota have that makes you say, outside of Anthony Edwards, that makes you say, I got to go guard this guy? Like, I got to play defense on this guy. Like, I have to watch him every possession. We've literally seen not Naismith, but Nembhard literally go for 20 in a quarter. We saw that. We saw that. Tell me when I'm lying. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I saw that. When they came back against the Knicks, he went for 20 in a quarter, which means they can get after it offensively.
I mean, I agree with that.
They're very efficient. Rick Carlisle will have a game plan for them. Do not get this confused. As if Rick Carlisle will not have a game plan for SGA, and he won't have a game plan. Again, if you take Chet out of the situation, if you take him out of the equation, you now you put the responsibility of scoring solely on Jalen Williams outside of SGA. I think that's what people need to watch for next series. You need to watch for that.
I mean, I like your philosophy there, Torch, but again, I don't think Indy will have an answer for the defense for OKC. They've been, just looking at the preview of the finals, right? I mean, their defense has been there all season long. And don't tell me the season doesn't have anything to do with them getting to the finals and carrying that momentum into the finals. I think that
I'm not going to say that. OKC is one of the best defensive teams.
Look at the last 2 games that Oklahoma won, right? They won 2 close games. The last 2 games that they played, they were close games. They won. I don't know who put in the comments about it'd be a 3-possession game. I kind of would agree to that. I think that it could be a close series, close games. But if it's close, Oklahoma always finds a way to win. And again, I'm still picking them in 6. Despite your expert.
OKC will have to. They will have to switch everything, Brock. They will have to switch everything 7 games in a row. Because that's where I think it's going. I think it's going 7 games.
Indian 7? Are you picking Indian 7?
I'm picking Indian 7. I have this sneaking suspicion. I'm just telling you. Would I be surprised if OKC win? No. But do I have this very eerie feeling that a lot of people are going to pick OKC and they're going to lose their money? Yes. Yes. Especially where the climate of basketball is right now, too. Be very careful. Be very careful.
Time shall tell.
Just assume that OKC is going to win this series. I'm telling you right now.
All right, Torch.
I am more confident, just from what I've watched. I am more confident in the Indiana Pacers pulling off what we don't think is going to happen. You're not lying.
Well, that's the beauty of sports, though. Really.
Hold on.
I mean,
hold on.
That's
but I trust. So wait a minute. Let's look at these. Let's look at these lineups real quick. I just want to look up the lineups real fast, and I just want you to tell me. Well, I know the lineup, but I'll look them up again, just so we have definitive lineup. Go ahead and look up OKC's lineup.
I got it. All right. The Indianapolis Pacers starting lineup for the 2025 NBA Finals. It'd be Tyrese Haberton, Benedict Mathurin, Andrew Nemard, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner.
Now, let's be mindful. Be very mindful.
Oklahoma City's
to me
starting lineup for the NBA Finals.
To me, let me just tell you that Pascal Siakam could very well be the X factor in this entire series. And the reason I say that is because Pascal has already won a championship. Mm-hmm. He's been in this situation before. Do not forget that when he played at Toronto, Golden State was literally favored to win that championship. He's been there before. This is not nothing new to him. That experience going into the finals, I think is going to do Indiana very good justice, especially with Rick Carlisle being their coach. I'm telling you now, do not get it confused. Pascal Siakam literally is the guy who literally can slow up the entire. I'm gonna be very honest. When you're playing against OKC, I think you have to slow up the game against them because they're so fast. To be honest, Indiana is very fast. OKC is fast as well, and because defensively, I just really think that you need a guy who can score one-on-one. You need that type of guy. Give him that.
Yeah, I mean, plus, OKC is a very athletic team too, you know?
Yeah.
So here's the starting lineup.
But so is Indiana.
All right, so you ready for the starting lineup for the Thunder?
Yeah, I already know. I know what it is.
But we'll share with the listeners, though. So, Shea Gilgeous Alexander, Jalen Williams, Lagance Dort, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. That's your starting lineup for the Thunder. So what is your thought? Did the Thunder or do the Pacers have the better roster in the finals? You've heard me say throughout the broadcast, I am picking and I'm standing by the Thunder to win this 6. However, the Torch, after his excellent analysis of the Indiana, whatever you want to call them, Pacers, he's picking them to win it in 6 and 7. I do not. I'm not buying that one bit.
Well,
Indy will not win this series.
You don't gotta buy it until it happens. I tell you what, and Brock, you said that Naismith has a bum.
You see these boys right here? Yeah, look at. These are the boys that are going right here. Look, take a quick look at my phone there. Those are the boys that are going to win. The Thunder. Let's make some serious thunder in the finals.
Well, I tell you, you better pace yourself on that. You better pace yourself on that one. I'll tell you right now. Obi Toppin could come right in and slide in Naismith's position, to be honest. And if to be very real with you, if the minute I think Jalen Williams is trying to get off, I would slide Obi Toppin right in. Because he's a bigger physical, more athletic player on offense and defense. I'm sliding Obi Toppin right in.
Do you not think they have to double team him, Torch?
Double team who?
Jalen Williams.
No.
I mean, he's a dynamic player. So why would you not think they have? I mean, if he gets hot, I don't think one guy's going to stop him, right? They're going to have to put pressure.
No, because of their size and athleticism. I don't think that the Pacers have to do that. If that was the case, then they would have had to double what's his name all series, and they didn't double him either. They didn't double. Who's the other one? But New York. Why am I blanking on his name right now? Brunson didn't get doubled all series. Indiana is not going to. I'm telling you right now. Indiana is not going to flank out defensively and go crash. They're not crashing. I'm telling you that right now. It's not happening.
So you think these will be close games or blowouts?
Russo shouldn't even score. I'm telling you right now. If I look at the entire, I'm telling you from looking at the entire roster, right?
Right.
So Tyrese Halliburton, you got Benedict Mathurin, who can come in off the bench. Obi Toppin, Nembhard, Thomas Bryant, who's another big athletic guy. You got Freeman, TJ McConnell. Naismith, Ben Shepherd, who you got to watch out for, coming off the bench. Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. Again, I see where these two teams are super similar in a lot of the stuff that they can do. And people think, okay, so you're going to just run away with this. That's what I think. And I don't think so. And if I got to go by close games, well, Indiana has been the best team in close games this year. Indiana has been the best clutch team this year in close games this year.
If it gets close.
Watch out. Oh, it's going to get close. It's going to be close. Y'all sleep. I'm telling you now, sleep on the Pacers if you want to. And then when they pace your ass, don't say nothing. I'm telling you right now.
So you think it's going to be a 3-possession game?
I tell you what. This is how I really see it.
What's up?
Do not let Indiana steal a game. Do not let Indiana steal a game from them. Don't let them steal a game. Indiana, every series has stolen a game. Do not let.
We shall see.
Oh, that is sure. Okay.
I still think, though, the Thunder's defense will be the answer. I mean, I'm looking at the stats and everything right now of the previous games. And in every series they played this year, their defense has come to play. And when it came to close games, like I just said earlier in the broadcast, the last two playoff games the Thunder played, they won those games and they were close, but they came out and they found a way to win. If you look at the series this whole year that they played in close games. The defense came to the rescue. So Indy is going to have their hands full.
Indiana has had their hands full all playoffs, though.
Right. Well, this is a series where they go back to Indy very disappointed.
Okay. All right. Do not let them steal game one or game two.
All right, so let me ask you this, Torres. Am I hearing you say if Indy wins game one, that could be like one of the turning points in the series? Am I hearing that right?
If Indiana steals game 1 or 2, it's going 7. I'm telling you right now. I'll put it that way to you. If they steal game 1 or game 2, and you give Indiana the confidence that they can actually win in OKC, this is going 7.
And the flip side of that, if the Thunder win the first 2 games, this series could be over in 4.
Well, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to take that risk.
All right. I'm just saying though, if the Thunder win the first 2 games, one of the listeners put down that they think that the Thunder may win this series in 5 games. So I may agree with that, because if the Thunder win the first 2 games of this series, all my Indy fans out there, you'll be terribly disappointed, because trying to come back against a team like the Thunder, you're down by 2 already early in the series. You got to play that swarming attacking defense. I've been talking about it all throughout the broadcast here. Good luck to you. Good luck. And I appreciate you guys watching. And if you have any comments, please put them in the comment line, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions. You got anything you want to talk about? Let's do it. It's good to hang out with you guys. And it's always a pleasure to hang out with the Torch. All right, Torch, send it back to you, buddy.
All right.
You're not speechless, are you?
I mean, I could go with the obvious. Okay. Huh?
You're not speechless, are you?
I could go with the obvious. No, I'm not speechless at all. I mean, I could go with the obvious and say, okay, see, I'm not gonna go with the obvious though. I'm gonna go with my basketball mindset. So basketball acumen, and I'm gonna say that this is gonna be closer than people think. And if Indiana pulls it off, folks, do not be coming back don't worry, you won't have to come in my inbox and say, "Oh, Dre, you were right," because I'll be in yours. How about that? I'll be right in yours. I'll be right on you. I'll be right in your inbox, front and center, when it happens, to say, "Damn."
And for some reason, I lose in this series if I pick the wrong team.
So I'm gonna tell you now, OKC is going to have to stop Indiana from getting the magic number. There's a magic number. Do you know what that magic number is?
Do tell.
Anybody know what the magic number is?
High, low, medium.
Okay. Before I tell you what the magic number is, I
Is
want
it
to
7?
make sure.
7?
No, it's points.
Well,
7 points, really? Yes, it's points.
Well, you are playing the Thunder's defense, so hey, anything's possible, right? All right, points. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to say, if you're doing points per game, all right, I'm going to say 102.
I don't know why you get upset playing these games. I don't know how to play these games. You're playing these games. I don't know how. Okay. The magic number is 110.
I was only 8 points out. So am I hearing you say if Indy scores 110 points per game, they're going to win the majority of those games? Is that where you're going with this?
Yes.
I knew there's a cut for you, Torch.
Do you know what the record is? What the Pacers' record is when they score 110 points?
Are we talking about the season or what?
Yeah.
$20 and 2.
Ha! How'd you know? You looked it up? Yes, you did. You looked it up. Wow.
Saved by the bell. I actually tried to sound dumbfounded about that too. I was trying to play something. I was trying to pull over on the Torch and make him think I didn't know when I really did know, and he still called me out.
Oh no! I mean, I could have went further than that. I could have told you that the Pacers' record is 58-24 when they score 110 point or more points since 2023. I could have told you that this year they're 31-12 when they score 115 points. I could have told you that in the play right now in the last 22 games. The Pacers are 18-2, by the way, when Tyler Halliburton scores more than 20 points, scores 20 points or more. I could have also told you that they're 20-2 when they score 110 points. So be very mindful of that magic number 110 or Tyrese Halliburton having 20 points. Be very mindful of that. If I had to take a bet, would Tyrese Halliburton score 20 points? I'm going to say yes. I didn't do it yourself. I don't know how to play this. This is what I'm saying. I don't know how to play it. You are asking me.
All right, Torch, what else are we going to talk about?
Well, I was going to talk a little WNBA, but we are already an hour and a half into the show. So I'm going to say I greatly appreciate you guys because I'm going to put him to bed. This little boy is just, he's all right. Okay. All right. You're getting upset about a game. All right. It's been fun.
Yes, it is.
I will see y'all again. Absolutely, we will. All right. See y'all later.
Peace out.